New Zealand is one of the worst countries in the OECD in producing waste. Here in New Zealand, we produce on average a whopping 450 kgs of landfill rubbish per household per year, and an additional 230 kgs of recycling. Our goal is to reduce the amount of rubbish that ends up in landfill and to encourage people to reduce waste, start reusing things, and maximize their recycling as much as possible.
Today we're going to meet inspiring international waste expert Sunshine Yates, and she knows exactly what happens to the stuff that goes into your recycling bin. And spoiler alert, it's not all good news.
My name's Sunshine. I'm a consultant in waste and recycling, and I've done a lot of work for councils around the country looking at waste and recycling, doing waste audits, research, and sorting it into all the different materials. Plastic goes one way, and glass another way, and the food waste and the nappies, and then weighing all of those categories to find out what people are actually throwing out. Recycling systems in New Zealand are different in each area that you go to. But talking about Auckland, what happens here is all the recycling that gets put into your household recycling bin gets picked up in a truck and gets driven to Visi Recycling in Onehunga. And Visi Recycling have this huge building with this big mechanical setup that sorts the recycling mechanically, but also with infrared beams to sort the plastic, air eddies to sort the paper, and magnets to pull out the metal. So quite an incredible big machine on conveyor belts, so all the materials sort of go through and get sorted through the process that way. So things that you never want to put in your recycling bin is plastic bags. So I know that some people will put all their recycling into a plastic bag in their house, and then they'll put the plastic bag into the recycling bin. You don't want to do that because it's sorted by machines. They can't take it out of the plastic bag. So basically your whole bag of recycling is going to go to landfill. Also, never put your bags of rubbish in there. You want to keep the recycling as clean as possible so that the machines can sort it properly, and so that the material that we end up with at the end of the day can actually be sold to a recycler and reused. So no bags of rubbish, no bags of recycling, or no recycling in bags. Don't put any clothing into your recycling bin because it's just going to end up as contaminating the rest of it. Don't put any food in there, which hopefully I don't need to say because it sort of goes without saying. And then there's some trickier things. So coffee cups. These can be very confusing for people to know. Are they recyclable? Are they compostable? Do they have to go into the landfill? Like, what do I do with my coffee cup? Basically, do not put them in your recycling. They are not recyclable. The paper is dirty, it's got coffee on it, it's generally got some sort of a wax or plastic film on it, so it can't be recycled. The tops are generally also dirty and mostly not made from a plastic that is recyclable. The ones that are compostable, you can't put compostable stuff in the recycling. So these go into the rubbish bin unless you've got a composting system you can put them into. This here is another good example of what not to put in your bin. So the bottle is recyclable, but it's got this plastic sleeve on it, which is not recyclable. So some of these bottles will actually have a little zip down the side that you can peel off. This one doesn't, unfortunately. So if they do have a zip on them, unzip it and take the soft plastic off. The other problem with this is this lid on it, or this spray. That's not really recyclable. It's generally made from a different plastic than the bottle. It might even have a metal spring inside it. So you're better off taking that off and putting just the top bit into the rubbish bin, peel off the plastic wrap, and put the bottle itself into your recycling. And there's also these compostable bags that people buy thinking that it's the right thing to do, use compostable bags instead of plastic ones. These are fine for composting, but they're no good for recycling.
So thank you to Sunshine, who's just explained all about compostable bags and how they can't go into your recycling bin. However, we're going to take you to meet a guy called Jazz, and his company is Eco Bags. And they make a whole range of compostable bags and even compostable cling film, saving hundreds of tons of plastic ending up in our landfills every year.
Hi, I'm Jazz. I'm the director of Eco Bags. I started this company with my wife about 15 years ago, and we've got a background in textiles and in engineering. I myself come from an engineering background where I studied about materials, and Simran, the co-founder, comes from a fabric background where she's been dealing with exporting bags to Scandinavia and European countries. When we started EcoBags, one of the key challenges was getting rid of plastics. We started finding alternatives to plastic, which included compostable and degradable material. Ever since that, we've been doing more sustainable materials instead of plastics. Plastics is something which we are trying to get rid of increasingly every day. They seem to be, taking more and more of our life. The aim of EcoBags is to reduce the usage of plastic, be recycled, be compostable, be degradable. One of the key motivation factors for EcoBags was to have a company with one of the largest collection of eco-friendly products. We've seen pollution in India, where we came from, and there was, every time we would pass through a polluted site within India, we used to think, could there be something better done? Ever since, that was a part of my thinking, that what can New Zealand do to make sure that we don't end up with large sums of plastics and landfills. So that was one of my key motivations. EcoBags has been in business for 15 years, and over these years we've segregated the bags with the types of materials. We started by selling cotton bags. We went to make canvas bags, jute bags, non-woven bags, compostable bags, recycled plastic bags. So the range of EcoBags actually comprises of all kinds of bags with different materials. One of the biggest achievements of EcoBags has been the ability to be the first supplier to supermarkets in New Zealand. We were the first company to introduce compostable rubbish bags to the likes of Countdown, Foodstuffs, and New Worlds, and the Council. Our range of compostable bags is different to plastics because these do not contain any material which will degrade in thousands of years. All our materials will degrade within 90 days in a home composting or a commercial composting environment. These bags are not harmful to animals. They can be safely disposed of either in a landfill or in the composting system, and they've been proven to be very successful. In fact, most of our bags start degrading the moment you put them out in the rubbish. Once you've used the bag and discarded it into your rubbish bin or into your compost bin, the worms and the moisture will eat away the bag, leaving with no residue. Our bags are fully tested by Australian standards and European standards to be perfectly workable in composting conditions and in basic rubbish conditions. You can't put these bags in recycling bin because these bags are meant to fully biodegrade or compost. Recycling is mostly meant for plastics and things like that, where the end of life is many thousands of years. These ones have an end of life within 90 days. So we at EcoBags not only do rubbish bags, but we also do poop bags. These are really good for picking up your dog waste. These can be fully composted, and they not only are strong, but they will make sure that the waste is disposed of securely. Our bags are also home compostable or can be buried in your backyard. This is one of our latest innovations, a cling wrap for your food, wrapping up your food. These are made from home compostable material. So once you've used these, you can put them back into your composting and it'll keep your food fresh. Another one of our products has been bamboo cloth bags. These actually solve the problem of microplastics. So when you clean anything with microfiber, you will leach microplastics into the water systems. To solve that problem, we came up with a bamboo cloth, which is made from bamboo viscose, and it can be reused about 20 times. And these are absolutely eco-friendly and can be put into, these are really good to be put into your wardrobe, bedside, and you got about 10 cloths in this pack, and they've been really successful with the public here. With all this innovation and products we've come across, we would love to know your feedback. If you want to check us out, go to our website www.ecobags.co.nz, and if you have any questions, we'll be more than happy to take them.